Hello everybody and welcome back to Rise of Industry. As always, I am Dor. Today we're going to go ahead and set up the copper cable line, hopefully, right? So in between episodes, I went ahead and paid off the loan. We no longer have any sort of loan we need to pay off. Luckily, we only had the starter one that didn't have any interest on it, so it was only like $83,000 that we had to pay a year. And we managed to go ahead and generate enough money to go ahead and pay it off. So now we have $900,000 in the bank. So we're going to go ahead and set up the copper line, and I think what we're going to do is place it right here because all we need to do is then connect it into the warehouse and we can just go ahead and train it all the way back to the town when we need it, I believe. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to go ahead and place down the copper mine here, and we just need it within range of the nodes, which are going to be right about there. That's everything in range. Although, how do I connect this to the road now? Let me flip it like that, and then we can place it here. And we're going to eventually end up moving the farms anyways, so I'm not too worried about where they are currently. So we'll just go ahead and do this. We have 3 of the copper mines going. Let's go ahead and run a road down past the farm fields and connect that into the main little road here. So now that's connected in. We should be good there. We don't have this thing going anywhere, right? It doesn't need to go to the warehouse. We can disable that for a second. And then let's see. We need the factory that's going to allow us to turn that into the copper cables. So this thing can actually be a little close to the copper mine because we don't need it anywhere else at the moment. We just need this making cables. So for right now, I'm going to go ahead and place it over here. I guess it's showing me the radius of the garage or the warehouse. I don't want to see the radius of that because this thing can just go automatically into it. So if I open the copper mine, we have to place it somewhere right here on this side of the street. Okay, so, oh yeah, there we go. It's very faintly there, but we can see the little highlight of the copper mine itself. So now the copper mine should automatically go. Actually, it's not going to automatically go to it. Okay, so let me just manually set it. And that should be all we need to do because we don't need the copper going anywhere else right now. We're not going to try and sell raw copper anywhere. And we also need to set one of the pollution buildings before we forget about that. So let's plop that there. And then we need to connect this guy to it so that we're getting water over to it. Actually, no, it should do it automatically. Air purifier 1. And yeah, it's doing it automatically. So we don't need to set that one in motion. This guy should be running. This guy should be making copper wires. And it should be going back to the garage or the warehouse. I keep calling it a garage. It's not a garage. And it should be good, right? This guy is actually full with something. So I'm guessing water. It is indeed water. We need the water to kinda get deleted for the time being, so we have some room for stuff to actually get delivered before we start running into any financial issues here. And we're also going to have to take a loan out here, I think, because we're not going to be able to build anything else until we start generating some money or risk getting into another loan thing that automatically gets thrown on us. So now this is going to automatically send the copper cables back to the warehouse, and then we need to set the train to take the copper cables back to the town and sell them. So we are making tier 1 products. Yep, copper wires. We need you going back to this warehouse and doing that by train, please. Only do a full load and we should be golden. Over here on this warehouse, I did have to go ahead and re-enable the selling to the state of water because we produce so much water with 2 of these things running. I kind of regret having 2 of them right now, but every now and again we have to sell to the state so that we don't have this thing fill up with water. And then over here, I guess we might have to start doing that too if it becomes a constant thing with this guy over here as well. But for right now, we just deleted the water and we're good. We might honestly need another one of these closer to this building. I don't know if this one's going to do both buildings. We'll see in a second when we let it run for a little bit. But now we should be able to go ahead and start generating some of those copper cables. And here's the loan here. So we have to take it, unfortunately. But let's take a look at the copper cables here. And I don't think we have any in the building just yet because we need to build a backlog. Oh, the game's paused. We need to build a backlog before it actually sells any. We actually have to fill up the warehouse until we have a full load for the train. And then it's going to sell to the city. And then the city's going to see what we generate, I guess. And so far, so good, I believe. If we click on the prospering thing, we are bleeding money. So I haven't had that one yet. I've had losing or gaining. I've not had bleeding. So does that mean we have something that's not very efficient, or does that mean we just aren't in a position to be making good money? Why are there trucks that aren't mine coming through my area? Oh, the guy over here. Yeah, the guy over here is doing stuff now. Okay, so there we go. It's swapped back to gaining, so we're good. And we have a interest of a new loan reduced by 40% for 16 months. We can... we don't need a loan. I'm not going to bother with that. Let's go ahead and throw it back into 3 times so we have stuff going. And let's see if we can actually pay this loan off. We need 4.9, so we're almost able to pay that off immediately. And for a split second there, we had 4.9. I could have done it, and I didn't pause the game in time. My bad. But yeah, we should be good. We're gaining a bunch of money. So once we pay this loan off, we should be fine. And I think we should have some new copper stuff coming in here. I believe it's not selling for a whole lot, but we are indeed delivering the units to the town here. So that's good, I suppose. And there we go. We're done with the loan. So now we should just be making money instead of having to pay on anything again. And it also doesn't look like we need another purifier over here. I think either this one's good to clear these buildings, or this one just doesn't need a building itself. But it does produce pollution, so at a very high rate. So I'm guessing this building is just good to handle the building here in general. Does this have a radius? It doesn't have a radius. Okay. So yeah, we're fine with only having one of those in this area, and it seems to be working pretty good. How did we just lose so much money? I don't know. Maybe vehicle tax or the last little fine or loan payment. Okay. So that's what that was. And how are we looking on the copper right now? Are we building a backlog here? We're not building a backlog. Are we building one here? We have 9 in the warehouse currently, and we only need 2 at a time. So we might start building a slight backlog, or we can go ahead and build another one of these factories and then try and up our production rate of the copper cables. Might not be that bad of an idea. They sell for kind of good. Or at 25,000, I mean, that's the best thing kind of we can make at the moment. So yeah, maybe we try that. Let's try and see if we place another one of these. We need 600,000 to place that. Oof, okay. Well, we're right there just about. Well, we drop back down, never mind. And let's see, we have this thing, deliver 47 copper wires to Ketchum for a bid of 2.2 million? Yeah, no, that's not happening. Sorry, buddy. I'm not paying 2 million to deliver cables to a town that's not my town. So in a second here, we should be able to go ahead and place one of these buildings down again and hopefully double the production rate of the cables. And there we go. We're at 600,000. Let's go ahead and place another one here. And then we should be producing double. And then we need this guy also delivering to this place. I wonder if maybe it would be good to actually have it go to the warehouse, so that way the warehouse is dividing it evenly between the 2 buildings here, because I don't think I can do that from this menu. I think I can do it from the warehouse, but I can't do it from here. I'm not sure. But anyways, we're going to be producing double the cables, so we're fine there. I need to go ahead and disable these guys so that they're not even running anymore. There's no point in having these ones set up. I don't know if trucks are actually leaving the building to do nothing. I'm not sure if that's happening, but we are definitely making money now. We're still gaining, and that's a good sign. I'll take it. I'm completely okay with that. Let's go ahead and do some more tech tree stuff so that we can hopefully start expanding maybe our farms. That's 400,000 a piece. Let's maybe do some tier 1 stuff at 200,000 instead of the 400,000. So we could do this one, which is going to give us 3 additional destination slots to our farms, gatherers, and factories, which could come in handy if we want to try and avoid using the warehouse to distribute things. We can also maybe do the efficiency thing here, which is going to allow us to invest 250,000 at a time instead of the 100,000, which I think is going to allow us to cut down on the research research time. So instead of this needing 120 days, I think it'll go ahead and cut it in half, or at least decrease the time. So yeah, we'll go ahead and give that a go. Let's do this one. That's going to be 200,000. Can I see how much money I have currently? I have 500,000. So we can do another 200,000 tech tree here. And I think what I want to go ahead and do is we can't do the buttons because that's 1.8 million we need for the buttons. So what I think we'll do is the copper tubing. That's another 400,000. That should be fine. And let's see, we are going to go ahead and throw it back into 3 times so we can see how much money we have left over when these 2 research things are actually done and we don't go into the negative here. So we actually have 1.5 mil left over when everything's done getting researched. So we can actually do a couple more researches here to go ahead and get some more recipes together. And what I want to go ahead and do is actually focus on things that we can sell to this town, because we're kind of at a point where we kind of did really, really badly here, to the point where the computers now own the towns that surround us. So if we were to go ahead and expand, I don't know if there's really much left for us to do, because I think the computers are in every town now. We kind of boned ourselves with how bad we did at the beginning, and the computers really just took off. Like their stocks are now 49 million and 63 million, and we are nowhere near that. So I think we might be kind of cornered into the thing here and just have to deal with this one town and see what we can make of it. In all honesty, we really don't have much options left for ourselves here. I don't think we can go ahead and buy into a town that a computer is already at. So yeah, we can make an offer, but we have to have an initial payment of almost 15 million to go ahead and do that. So we might be able to go ahead and buy the rights to a town away from a computer, but we need to go ahead and try and start making a lot more money than we currently are. All right, so I went ahead and took a look at the stuff that I can sell in this town and saw what was more profitable than the other things. So pretty much I need 1.8 million to buy any of them. And what we're going to go ahead and do is just do the buttons. The buttons are 1.8 million. They sell for 60 something thousand or 50 something thousand. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And then the other ones that sell for a good amount are the pottery things, which are also 1.8 million. And we would have to set up another factory to produce the glass, which we currently don't do. So we would need to set another factory in motion to even make those. So we'll go ahead and do that eventually. The steel stuff, I'm not even going to try and do because, again, we don't have coal in this region. So we kind of can't do those at the moment unless we want to buy the coal from the state. I think we can do that, but I don't know how much that's going to cost. And then the other thing that we can do was the diodes. So again, that's another 1.8 million to buy into. And I think this only sold for, I think, 40,000. So I went with the buttons. The buttons are going to sell for the most, and hopefully we can go ahead and make some good cash with those when we get around to unlocking them. But we're currently up to 2 million. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward some more here because we just need to go ahead and set those factories into motion here. I think we have all the stuff we need for that as well, which are the plastic bottles and the copper cables. So we actually need to set another oil thing up to process that stuff. And right now, I think all we do with the oil is actually just sell it, right? We don't have that going into anything to be processed. I believe, yeah, we don't have that being processed. I still have the plastic bottles in the warehouse for whatever reason. I guess I never removed them. But we can go ahead and set the factory back up over here for 500,000. And we should be able to go here. What do we need for this? I don't even remember the recipe. We need gasoline and oil, or the gas containers and oil. So yeah, we should be able to go ahead and place the thing here just to kind of get it closer to the oil that we can get it, basically, and not have to place down another pollution thing. And then we can set that to be making plastics again. And we need the warehouse to then send the gas. Right, yeah, we need the gas to be sent here, and I think it's already doing that because it automatically detected the building and it's sending the stuff over. So yeah, this guy sends it to the warehouse, and then the warehouse sends it back to the building, and so on and so forth. And we're going to be producing the bottles again, so that's good. What are the buttons going to be made in? I don't know. I think it's going to be made in the same warehouse. Yeah, it's going to be being made in the same building. So we can go ahead and actually place down another one of these for the time being and just not have it active so that it's not stored. Oh, actually, no, because if we place it, it's going to start getting delivered things and then it's going to cause issues. So I'd rather just leave it be. And let's go ahead and see what this thing is doing. So we are currently missing the input, which is going to be the gas. So I guess what we could do is take a look at our gas thing over here. Why are you having issues with the gas? Do we not have gas being transported? We do have gas being transported. It might be prioritizing the sale of the gas is probably what's going on here. So let me go ahead and actually change this to, I think producers is what I want. So let me set it to that. And I think it's going to send all the oil and stuff to this building first before it sells it, I believe, is what that little change is going to do. But we still need to go ahead and fast forward a little bit until we're able to actually place down the other building to start generating buttons. All right, cool. We finally have the buttons researched. I also have it set to research the other extensions to the harvesters and then some new roads so we can hopefully maybe get cars moving a little bit quicker here. But let's go ahead and place down the other one of these guys, which is going to be this one here. And we can go ahead and place it right on over here. And I don't want this actually hitting the train track. I don't know if that's going to have any issues going on if we do, but we can go ahead and place it right about here just to kind of give it a little bit of space away from the tracks. And then we need to go ahead and set the buttons as the recipe for this. And I think that's all we need to do because now the warehouse should automatically detect that this thing is here, and it did indeed. And we might just need to go ahead and set a pollution thing, but the pollution thing says it doesn't produce any pollution, which I feel like that's not the case. But if we leave it in fast forward mode here, we should see this thing start making some buttons. Hopefully. Did I need to place something down? No, it's just waiting for the delivery. Okay, so we might honestly be overworking this warehouse with the amount of stuff that we have going on because we keep having the oil guy over here complaining that he's not getting any oil, but it should just have all the oil that's being produced over here going into it already. So I don't know why it's doing anything. But there we go. It ticked on over to actually be running, and we are producing a bit of pollution. So we need to place one of the buildings down next to it to go ahead and clean the area, which shouldn't be too big of an issue. We just need to go and plop that thing there, and then when this starts getting water, we can go ahead and hopefully not have any pollution kicking off in this area. So let me actually throw this back into 3x mode here and see if we have any buttons coming out of this, not batteries. Do we have any in the warehouse yet? We don't have any in here just yet, but we should see our finances kind of jump a little bit when we start selling these because, again, they're selling for, I believe, 60,000. Yeah, they're selling for 61,000 a pop, so we can go ahead and hopefully make some good cash. We're also going to be selling the coils here or the wires here as well. So that's good news. And we also have 2.4 million left over, but I think the way the tech stuff works is it doesn't actually deduct the money until you research the thing fully. So maybe not. I'm not quite sure. But now that we ticked over to the 250,000 R&D investment, which I think we didn't do, so everything was kind of still taking a little bit of time here. It should research things a bit quicker. So these things were 120 days. Now they're 48 days, I believe. So yeah, that definitely came in handy. I should have ticked that over with the buttons. I didn't do that, and it took forever with the buttons. But nonetheless, now we have those being produced. And let's see, have we delivered any to the town? I think maybe we have. I'm not too sure on that. We shouldn't have any in here, do we? No, we don't have any in here. I'm going to go ahead and delete the water because right now we're not able to keep up with the water and actually selling it at a decent rate. And I don't know why everything is really just starting to back up in here. Maybe because of this thing, the way I changed it, it's not going where it should be going. So let's change it back to equally and see if we start dropping on these numbers, because we don't need this many grapes and stuff in here. I don't want to have to delete them. Like we're not even meeting the demands of the town. So I think we might honestly be overworking the factory here, or the warehouse. So that might not be a good thing. And there's our first couple buttons. So that's cool. And we are dropping a little bit in money, but I think that's because of the R&D stuff. So once that stuff's done, we should be good again on our income. There we go. We're back in the green here. We just had to go ahead and run out the R&D stuff, and we're still producing enough money to go ahead and stay in the green. So hopefully that stays for the remainder of our run here. But we definitely need to go ahead and take a look at our warehouse situation. We might want to go ahead and set up multiple hubs and maybe have imports and exports and stuff like that. But we need to go ahead and do more in the tech tree for that, I believe. So we need to go to distribution and maybe the advanced distribution, because that'll be a little bit better. But in the normal distribution hub here, we can increase our storage capacity in the warehouses. We can also increase the truck capacity, which will also help cut down on the traffic. And we can also increase the radius of the effect of the warehouse. So that'll go ahead and come in handy as well. And then we can go ahead and expand the distribution slots. And we can also unlock new ways of delivery. So we can increase the train capacity, which is going to come in handy. So I'm going to go ahead and toggle that right now, because we need a train to be bringing stuff a little more frequently, or maybe a little more full. And then we can do a boat depot, which we don't really need on this map, unless we can ship to the state next to us. I guess, I don't know. We don't need the boat because we're right on the coast and we don't have any other towns. But we might go ahead and unlock the Zeppelin. That might help us with the traffic situation that we're in right now. Or maybe not even the traffic situation. I don't know why we are not delivering fast enough. But let's go ahead and also do the warehouse storage for 10. The tile collection radius for another 10. And then we will go ahead and, let's see, maybe do the destination slot. Actually, no, I'm going to hold off on those. And I'm not going to do any more of these. I'm going to do the efficiency 2 for the R&D thing. So we can invest $1 million a month, which we might not even be able to do. And I think we should be good. I might also do these ones here, because that's going to cut the salary. I believe it's going to cut the salary down. So let's do the first one in each of these. And I think that's all of the research we're going to do at the moment. I'm going to go ahead and let all of that process through. But I think for right now, that's actually going to go ahead and be it for today's episode. So by next episode, we should have all of this done. We shouldn't go bankrupt. Fingers crossed. We are producing a decent amount of money right now. So we should be completely fine. But I'm going to go ahead and let it run and call it there. So hope you guys enjoyed as always, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.